Negroes in Ancient America. It is now an established theory and a popular belief that the ancestors of the American Indians came to America from Asia and probably crossed from the Asiatic mainland by the way of the Aleutian Island across the Bering Strait, a very narrow passage of water separating the northwestern part of the North American continent from Asia. The argument is very logical from a geographical point of view, but the monuments and the ancient culture which has been discovered and disclosed in later years in such countries as Mexico, Central and South America definitely show that the ancient forefathers of the American Indians were of African origin, not Asiatic. A glance at a map of the South Atlantic would seem to indicate that the eastern coast of Brazil and the western part of Africa were once joined together as one plot of land, but rent asunder during the geographical rearrangement caused by the flood. In the days of Noah, Brigham, in his book Shadow of the Atlantis, page 71, says that the eastern shore of Brazil and the western shore of Africa, if it were possible for these two continents to be reconnected, would fit perfectly. Brigham quotes Dr. A. Wagner as saying that the separation of South America and South Africa took place between 30 and 40 million years ago. Be that as it may, regardless of the chronology of the event as to when the separation took place, my contention is the two continents were once connected as one continent before the flood. The geographical outline of the western portion of Africa and the coast of Brazil, if these two continents were joined back together, they would fit perfectly. South America is nothing more or less than the lost Atlantis, or that portion of Africa that was separated during the flood. The generic definition of Atlantis is evolved from such terms as Atlan or Atlan, the land of Adam, Atlantis or Atlantis, or Atlantic, Adam's land divided by water. Adam was once a very wealthy man. The watery worlds were his own, and also the solid ground. So this prehistoric continent before the flood was peopled by a race, what political writers today would brand as Negroes, who first inhabited South America, Central America, and Mexico. Mexico has been often called the American Egypt. The people of Mexico were called Aztecs, and their country Atlan, which is only a slight variation of Atlantis, which means identical. The children of Adam was a prehistoric Ethiopian race. These Negro tribes, still found in South America, are the aborigines of the continent and the ancestors of the American Indians of North and South America and the West Indian Islands. South and Central America was peopled before North America, just as Africa and Southern Asia was the first habitation of man long before the migration to Europe and Northern Asia. For many centuries in the life of early man, Europe, Northern Asia, and North America was under a sheet of ice. If the ancestors of the American Indians had come to America by the way of Alaska, or in other words from Asia, they would have left the blueprint of the establishment of their culture in Eastern Asia, and two, they would not have come down through the long length and breadth of the continent of North America without building a pyramid of Sphinx or some temple or palace that would have been similar to the ones that are now found in Mexico, Central and South America. Lost Histories of America, W.S. Blackett, page 276 to 277 says, the Inca, Peru, and his institutions may have been unknown in Asia and Europe from Plato to Columbus, but there are ocular demonstrations from the monuments of antiquity. The Inca and his customs were known in ancient Ethiopian and Babylonia. Further evidence are given from an Ethiopian picture, which was taken from a Peruvian scene on the rules that decide such questions. Peruvian picture is a simple natural scene. It is the Inca in his temple before the sun god, while in the Ethiopian design there are ghosts bringing offerings to him. Both nations, the Incas of Peru, South America, and the Ethiopian of Africa, were worshippers of the sun god.